Warning: the following podcast may contain mature content, coarse language, and may cause severe butthurt. You have been warned, Internet.
Hey, I'm Dean, here with Drew and Logan, and we write Subtlety with Fire.
Yes, and this week, this review, we are reviewing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Phantom Blood.
Oh, it was so good.
The 2012 series.
Yep.
Which includes the Phantom Blood and Battle Instincts.
Battle Instincts, yeah.
Plot arcs.
All around. Let's get this off a little bit of information. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a very long-running manga that started in 1987 and is still going to this day.
Yeah. There have been multiple attempts to make an anime in the past, in 1993 and 2000, both of which are trash. They're not good. They try and cover the entirety of the first 3 plot arcs in like less than 10 episodes, so...
Dude.
Yeah. Everything that this covers is basically glossed over in an episode, and then it covers Jotaro and like the other 5.
Yeah.
That's doing it wrong.
Yeah.
It skips immediately over Best Joestar.
Yeah. It briefly covers Jonathan and then goes right into Jotaro.
Completely misses Joseph. Joseph is best Joestar.
Yeah. So, first things first, we start off, we see young Jonathan Joestar, a kid who wants to be the ultimate gentleman.
Living with his father, George Joestar.
And they take in a boy named Dio Brando.
Because JoJo's father allowed this, somehow, became acquaintances with Dario Brando, Dio's father.
And basically, Dio gets orphaned, moves in with the Joestars, and the first interaction between JoJo and Dio you see is Dio kicks his dog. So evil! Already in for a good villain here.
So irredeemably evil. What a dick.
I will say, throughout the first 9 episodes that covers Jonathan's arc, Johnny Young Bosch's performance as Jonathan, his British accent's not
the best.
Not the best.
No, it's pretty shit.
However,
I am fond of Michelle Ruff's performance as Arena, though.
Oh, you mean Princess Zelda?
Yes, the designs are very similar.
Yeah.
We just dated this episode hardcore.
Oh, what? For when Breath of the Wild is either out or about to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So?
It's fine.
Yeah. And other than that, we get introduced to
Robert
E.O. Speedwagon.
Oh my
who
god.
is an amazing music reference. We should get this out of the way right now. The entirety of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is music references.
We got Dio Brando, who's named after Marlon Brando, and Dio, Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah. But
a lot of people believe JoJo to be a reference to the Beatles, but it's actually not.
It's not. Either way, there's music references abound, and challenge you to find all of them without looking it up.
It won't be hard.
It's not hard.
It's not super hard. They're
when
not very
someone's
subtle.
called fucking AC/DC.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But other than that, Speedwagon's performance is entertaining.
He screams at everything.
Yeah, he sounds like he's in shock all the time.
Also, how him and Jonathan become friends is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Surely a man of your size could have easily killed me with a kick like that. Why didn't you? I'm a gentleman, motherfucker.
Oh,
Cool,
this guy's
let's be
got balls.
friends.
And then we get introduced to Baron Zeppeli. Yes, the wise old man Obi-Wan character is named after Led Zeppelin. Fuck yeah.
Yep. And he teaches Jonathan about the power that is Hamon.
Or ripple energy.
Yeah. It is seriously life energy in and of itself.
Yep. The power of the breath.
The way Zeppeli shows it off is he goes to punch a frog, but sends his energy through the frog into the rock.
And destroys the rock.
And the frog is totally fine.
or dislocates his shoulder for a spring punch type deal, and then immediately heals himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, if any of this hasn't made this abundantly clear by now, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is over the top ridiculousness incarnate.
You forgot to mention the poses.
Oh my god.
That's actually exactly what I'm getting to. It's over the top yelling, over the top action, and striking poses everywhere.
It's glorious.
Everywhere.
Like in the second episode, there's a scene where they're just playing rugby and catch the ball, JoJo pose.
Yeah. Throw the ball, JoJo pose.
Wildly unnecessary.
Run while having 4 guys hanging off you with the ball, JoJo pose.
Yeah, a JoJo pose. Anytime unnecessary, awesome pose.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous pose.
Is it the same pose every time, or was it just fucking...
It's different pose every time.
Yeah.
It's just a over-the-top pose that is really just exaggerated and doesn't mean anything.
Yep. Like Shinsuke Nakamura's poses, which are basically JoJo poses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then after episode 9, we move on to the next plot arc. The Battle Instincts plot arc. The Joseph Joestar plot
Holy
arc.
fuck, best Joestar.
The grandson of Jonathan, and it cuts forward from the 1880s to the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
And goddamn is this plot arc hype as shit.
For your healthy dose of racism this arc, we introduce Smokey Brown.
Oh, God.
Played by Robbie Damon.
Black Prompto.
Yes, it's Black Prompto. That's all it is.
Yep.
Sometimes it's not. It's just fucking white Prompto.
Sometimes. Also, Speedwagon is still around 50 years later. So,
Impressed?
For that
motherfuckers like 80.
For that time, that was impressive as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Arena's still alive as well.
Yeah.
However,
Granny Joestar.
Jonathan, at the end of his plot arc, sadly fell to Dio.
Yep.
Yeah.
A pregnant Arena escaped, however.
And then we go to Joseph Joestar, the grandson of Jonathan, who is...
So good.
He's big, imposing dude who's a complete and utter sarcastic shit.
And a master of sleight of hand.
Yeah.
He has an overwhelming natural ability to use Hamon.
Also, I would like to bring up one thing right now before we get anywhere past the beginning of his plot arc.
Yeah.
Where the fuck does he get that Tommy gun? He just reaches behind him, basically pulls the Tommy gun out of his ass.
And uses it to blow up one of the previous Hamon masters, Straight So.
Who is now a vampire.
Because they found another stone mask. We didn't even cover the stone mask.
Yeah, the whole series starts because there's a stone mask that turned Dio into a vampire, and that was the villain of the first arc.
Yep.
He was a good villain.
Oh,
he was an amazing villain.
And now we see the Pillarmen, which this tablet says made the stone masks and shit. So we don't really know what their deal is until later.
Later in the arc. But we...
Cut to Mexico.
Yeah, the Mexico is where the Stone Mask and Straight So became vampire.
Yep.
And where the Pillar Man was found. So more accurately, cut back to New York with Joseph.
Joseph beats the ever-loving shit out of Straight So, which seems effortless.
And awesome.
He's best Joestar. Come on.
What? You think you could defeat someone who studied Hamon for years?
Yeah.
You're a little slow. I pinned a grenade to you.
Throws the grenade. Okay, what about the other 8? Fuck!
But, this plot arc, we follow Joseph, we follow the grandson of Zeppeli, Caesar Zeppeli. We follow... we get introduced to Lisa, their Hamon instructor.
And...
Other than that, those are pretty much all the relevant new characters aside from the villains. And
more than that. In Mexico, we encounter the Nazis.
That's true.
Yeah, the Nazis.
We encounter the Nazis.
Oh god,
and
the Nazis.
Baron and Major
Rudolph
von Stroheim.
Von Stroheim.
Who is, if anyone recognized our Persona 3 playthrough, Geddy Lee Science, the Nazi.
German science is the best science in the world.
He shouts that so many times.
Yeah. And he just has these Tommy Wiseau level bad lines like, he was nowhere near the mask! I didn't even see it!
He's sort of standing there staring at his hands, giving that entire line.
I did not hit her. I did not.
It's bullshit! I did not. So he's hammying over the top,
and he discovers a Pillar Man, who he lovingly names San Viento.
Because they couldn't legally call him Santana.
Now I'm just picturing a cease and desist order being handed to Stroheim directly.
So, after San Viento is dealt with by Joseph.
Via sunlight.
Via sunlight, yes.
Because apparently they still sort of work like vampires, yet not really.
Yeah, he gets sent to Rome to meet Caesar Zeppeli and find the other Pillar Men, who we are introduced to as Wamu, Cars, and AC/DC.
Cars being the dominant one of the bunch, and AC/DC being the pleb of the group.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah, the Cars, AC/DC, and Wham.
Yep. They're not subtle about the entire thing.
Wake them up before you go.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
And then we are shown that the pure level of bluff skills on the part of Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, is about to die and just bluffs them. I could totally kick your ass in a month. Give me a month to train, I will kill all of you.
So they plant rings on him that makes it so he will die in a month if he just decides to flee.
Yeah. So he just completely bluffs his way into a free extra month of training.
Which he actually was hoping to escape with, but...
Yeah. And this is the point where we are introduced to their Hamon instructor, Lisa, played by Wendy Lee, who teaches Joseph, who is... I can't remember the actor's name, but the voice of young Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts. Mm-hmm. And Caesar Zeppeli, who is Bryce Papenbrook.
Yep.
Coincidentally, I think this is the only performance he ever does that isn't just his Kirito voice.
Wouldn't be surprised. Then again, not a big fan of SAO.
It's just Italian Kirito.
Yeah.
Or Italian whatever the guy from Blue Exorcist is.
Yeah.
Or, Eren Yeager or any other role this guy plays, because he's only got one voice.
Generic shonen good guy.
With angst.
With angst.
You start off hating Caesar.
Oh, you really do.
Logan, you wanna cover your thoughts on this one?
Fuck Caesar. He was a goddamn asshole. That's it. He's just a dick.
He was a complete pompous prick.
Pompous, womanizing prick who probably should have been a Sith Lord.
There was actually this one exchange between him and Joseph that was fucking absurdly amazing. He gives a woman a big old hormone kiss and was pretty much mind controlling her, which, that sounds a little more Sith than Jedi in this case.
Yeah, that's pretty evil.
So, what does Joseph do in retaliation? Fills a bird full of hormone and shoves it in her mouth.
And then Caesar goes to kiss her to release the mind control and gets pigeon grenade to the face.
Yep.
This girl's had a pretty bad day.
Yep. She's probably got a few diseases.
The question is, which disease is worse, whatever the bird was carrying or whatever she picked up off Caesar?
Ooh.
I gotta say though, Caesar, by the end of the season, you can't help but like the guy.
So the Pillar Men are after the Red Stone of Asia, which, of course, is in possession of Lisa.
Yeah. Which this stone they can use to upgrade the mask to make them gods, basically.
Mm-hmm. After a month of hard training, Joseph encounters AC/DC, who shows up and kills his master.
And, well, his master's student.
Yeah.
The guy who, the pleb who was training him.
Yeah. Who got jobbed out to AC/DC immediately. Joseph, using his intellect, actually was able to beat AC/DC.
Pretty easily.
Yeah. So he was surprised in himself that he's like, holy shit, I can actually do this after a month.
Yeah. Also, such an amazing thing about the series. The next thing you're going to say is...
And then they say it.
And then, ho! Just Joseph's ability to predict what people are going to say.
Next thing you're going to say is, you had this planned right from the start, didn't you, Joestar?
You had this planned right from the start, didn't you, Joestar? Oh!
Actually, that case, the person replied with, how do you always know?
He is best Joestar.
He's so entertaining. He's just charismatic and total bullshit, but it's great.
Yep. Oh.
The season basically culminates in a big Coliseum duel with Wamu between Joseph and him, and a battle between Lisa and Cars.
Which Cars
cheats through.
Yeah.
And then
Joseph
saves Lisa. Cars gets the mask.
Which apparently
is
Von
where
Stroheim didn't see it.
Yes.
He wasn't anywhere near it.
And then Joseph versus full god mode Cars.
Who can transform into anything he goddamn feels like.
Still beats him.
Yep, still beats him by using a volcano to launch him into space. And as they do, the original opening starts playing, and there is no way you can not feel the hype when you hear those vocals just belt into the Sonochi no Saname Jojo.
So yes, with everyone believing Joseph has fallen, we see his funeral.
And then he just
crashes his
own funeral
with his wife,
who is just the maid of Lisa basically, who turned out to be Joseph's mom.
Lisa is Joseph's mom. It adds a bunch of creepy shit to earlier in the season
when he's kind of hitting on her.
Yeah, it was fucking weird. And then
the series has really good action.
Oh, it has amazing action.
It has some good comedy.
Oh, it's got stupidly good comedy.
It's got this very unique vibe about it. There's just something interesting.
Exactly.
People who don't like it aren't gonna like it. That's that. But
yeah. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
I fucking love it.
There's not gonna be a lot of in between. If you can get past the weirdness and the over the top kind of
we haven't even gotten
flamboyant
into the real
nature of the series
shit.
And the in-your-face music references.
And the in-your-face music references and excessive posing and non-subtlety the show has. If none of that bothers you, you will love this series.
And the thing is,
if that bothers you, you'll have to look elsewhere.
And the thing is, these two arcs that we just went through are technically the prologue.
Yeah, because the very end of the season shows old man Joseph complaining about hating Japanese people because his daughter married a Japanese guy and moved across the world.
Yep.
And then we see Dio's coffin from the first half get hauled up from the ocean. And there's our setup for the next season. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders.
Where everything fucking changes, but once that actually gets dubbed, that's a story for another day.
Any thoughts you guys have before we close this off?
All around, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is an amazing must-see anime, in my opinion. This anime is stupid fucking good. If you could track down the manga, do. But if you're going to be waiting for a dub, you might be waiting for a while to get Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah, it's supposed to come this spring.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they said that like a long time ago.
Yeah.
That it was going to come out, and then it never did.
Well, to be fair, they already did 3 premiere dub episodes.
So yeah, they did 3 to say they're doing it, and then they did...
Then they did the first season,
yeah,
which came out a year after that, in the summer of 2015.
They're taking their sweet-ass time with it.
I have a feeling that we're getting it this year because they're probably doing both Stardust Crusader seasons in one shot.
Yeah.
Like, they're probably just gonna not release anything until they're both done.
Mm-hmm.
Because Stardust Crusaders is a 2-season plot arc.
I guess that'd be alright.
And the thing is, Stardust Crusaders is what everyone knows JoJo for. The stands, the absurdity, the Dio.
The
Yep.
That's so awesome. It's great that they kept it in the dub.
yeah.
I'm disappointed that they did change something for the dub, though. Joseph. Like, overall, Joseph's performance is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Joseph is amazing. However, in the Japanese version, he swore in English when the rest of his lines were in Japanese.
You're just bullshit.
Oh my god!
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be a British guy,
Yeah.
so him in Japanese kind of doesn't really
Makes
fit
sense.
to begin with, anyway.
Yeah.
The performances in the series are really good in the sense that they fit the very over the top vibe.
Like, everyone overacts, including the traveling bully.
Yeah. The random just Todd Habercorn filling in for bit roles, who
That
happen to
seems to
both
be-
just be him kicking the shit out of kids.
So,
Like, in the first episode, we see Todd Habercorn just being a bully to Arena.
Yeah.
And then in a later episode, when we are introduced to Poco,
we see him bullying Poco.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm just picturing a traveling bully who's actually in his mid-30s just beating the shit out of random kids.
but it's definitely a series where if you're gonna watch it, the dub's good if that's what you're looking for. The sub is really good and over the top. Either way, you're fine.
If you're not a blind fucking have an option to watch the sub,
yeah.
then you could do that.
Then go for it. It is... The dub at points has moments where it's not... It could be better.
Oh, it could totally be
It could definitely be better.
Yeah.
But that's also what you get when Warner Brothers has to be the ones to license the dub because of all the music licensing.
Yeah.
And they just outsource it to a random company who I can't even remember the name of, to be honest.
Yep.
But it's definitely a series where if you can get past the weirdness, you'll find yourself having a great time and being hyped as shit.
Yeah.
If the weirdness is something you can't get by, then you're just not going to be able to get into this series, and, well, that's just the way it is.
Now, we're going to be changing things up for our next review. We will be reviewing 2 series in one go. Technically 2 seasons of Clanad.
How you feeling about that one, Logan?
Yeah, great.
A little bit of a story
Fantastic.
about that. Logan quit on this at the end of the second episode.
Listen,
shit
because-
got too real for him.
Listen, bitch. Shit got way too goddamn real for an anime.
You
Am I
haven't seen-
wrong?
You haven't
No.
seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen shit yet.
But am I wrong?
You're not.
Shit got too goddamn real for an anime.
I can remember the first time. Everyone remembers the first time they got emotional at an anime, and everyone remembers the first time someone close to them got emotional at an anime.
Clanad would be the first for me.
Yeah, Clan would be the first anime I cried for.
Yep.
I think it was Fairy Tail.
Yeah, Fairy Tail.
Fairy
has a
Tail
few
did it a
moments.
lot, yeah.
Anyway, we're starting to babble on here. Tune in next time to see us review Clanad.